Hi, I'm Jim Kinney, Editorial Director of Baker Academic and Brazos Press, which are divisions of Baker Publishing Group here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. As 2010 comes to an end and 2011 is on the horizon, we want to take a little time to reflect back on some of the highlights of our publishing in 2010 and also look forward to some of the new things coming in the new year. Our biggest news of 2010 was that we acquired some 300 academic titles that were previously published by Hendrickson Publishers. With Hendrickson focusing its program a little bit more narrowly, we were able to take on responsibility for these books, some brilliant books that they've published over the years. In recent months we've been able to get to know these books and their authors, and we'll look forward to serving the readers for years to come. I'll mention a few other books. In September we released the first volume of what's going to be a 10-volume project released over the next decade. This is Genesis in Cotton Mather's Biblia Americana, a full biblical commentary by one of colonial America's leading intellectuals. That's going to be of interest to students of early American studies as well as to students of the history of biblical interpretation. Let me mention also a book that started generating conversation even before it was published. This is Dale Allison's Constructing Jesus: Memory, Imagination, and History. Here's a major Jesus book by one of the world's leading Jesus scholars that's certain to change the conversation for many years to come. Publishing commentaries is a big part of what we do, and so I'll mention a few that we released in 2010. In our Paideia series, which emphasizes the formative effect of New Testament text, we have Matthew by Charles Talbert of Baylor University, and we also released Romans by Frank Matera of Catholic University of America. In our Baker exegetical commentary on the New Testament, which features the best of evangelical biblical scholarship, we have Ephesians by Frank Thielman of Beeson Divinity School. And in our Catholic Commentary on Sacred Scripture series, we have The Gospel of Matthew by Curtis Mitch and Ted Sri. I want to mention also a very exciting book that we've published that's been talked about quite a bit. This is Creation Untamed: The Bible, God, and Natural Disasters by Terence Fretheim. We're excited about this book because here we have renowned Old Testament theologian Terry Fretheim wrestling with one of the perennial issues of Christian faith. Where is God and what is God's role in natural disasters? Now here in December we've gotten a couple brand new textbooks in that'll be ready for January classes. This one is a seminary level Introduction to Counseling and Psychotherapy by Sun Young Tan of Fuller Theological Seminary. And here we have Introducing Cultural Anthropology by Brian Howell and Janelle Williams Paris. And Howell and Paris were aiming specifically at the Christian college and university classroom. And before I go, I want to mention two other books that will be coming in 2011. I don't have any materials for that because we don't have the books ready yet, but the first is by a fellow named Bruce Fisk, who teaches at Westmont College, and Bruce has written A Hitchhiker's Guide to Jesus, Reading the Gospels on the Ground. Bruce takes students over to the land of the Bible every year, and growing from those experiences, he's written a fictional account that's both informative and very interesting of a student who's doing historical Jesus studies on location, but who's also wrestling with issues of personal faith. This is going to be one of those textbooks that students will love to read. And I'll mention one other big textbook that's coming in the first part of 2011. This is an abridgment of Herman Bavinck's Reformed Dogmatics. Over the recent years we've published the 4-volume Reformed Dogmatics edited by John Bolt, making some of the best Reformed theology of the 20th century available for English in the first time. And now in 2011 we're going to release a 1-volume abridgment that will put that great Reformed theology into a classroom-friendly package. I could go on and on talking about our books because we do so many interesting books, but I'll stop there thanking you for your interest in Baker Academic and encouraging you to keep an eye on what we're doing and some of the interesting things we're publishing in 2011.